Right, and we have gotten the go-ahead. So once again, our first competitor going under starters orders for the 95 centimeters will be number 22, Jane Catherine Brown, riding Lighting the Fire. And off and away they go as they go on towards the welcome jump at number 1, where you'll see our lovely Arco 360 banner as they make their way on towards the fan at number 2. They go over the fan, no problems there as they now continue on towards the log brush at 3. Popping over there and now heading uphill towards the log uprights. Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone has lost a sunglasses or glasses case and they are looking for them, please find me at the announcer's tower. Right, back to the horses out on track. Lighting the Fire and Jane currently making their way on towards the houses at number 6. Lovely jump over there as they now go over jump number 7, the slanter. And now going on towards their one and only combination on track, the log to log. So they pop over the first and second, if I'm not mistaken, heading on towards jump number 9 as number 23 comes out onto track. This is Julia and Sabbatical, currently on a score of 46.5 penalties after the dressage and lying in 16th place. They've gone over the log brush at number 3 and now make their way uphill towards number 4, the log uprights. It's number 22, Lighting the Fire. Making their way on towards number 12 after having cleared 11 the uprights. They now go on towards the ditch and brush. Lovely ride there for Jane as they continue on uphill towards number 13, the corner, just as number 23, Sabbatical, presenting it to the houses at 6. Lovely ride over the houses as they turn right-handed to go on towards the slanter. And no issues over the slanter as they head on towards the log combination. Lighting the Fire, number 22, now having gone over the slanter at 14, make their way over the log thatch at 15. And now continue on towards the table. No problems over the table there for Lighting the Fire as they continue on to cross over at Billy Goat Scruff towards the Northern Farms Water Complex and the A-frame before water. Lighting the Fire over the A-frame, into the water, up onto the centre bank, into the water again, and then popping out over the log as they now turn right-handed and downhill to go to the rollers. Number 23, Sabbatical, in the meantime, lovely jump over the ditch and brush at 12 and heading on towards the corner. It's number 24, Sean Miller and Lord Barbados, also known as Jack, making their way on towards the slanter at number 7. They've come out onto track with a total of 49.8 penalties after the dressage. Sean Miller is actually one of our level 3 FEI veterinarians, but does find time to still compete here today in the Gauteng Champs. He has also been a National Welfare Officer for eventing South African and show jumping for South Africa. And next week we'll also be competing at Dressage SA in the Interprovincial Championships for the KwaZulu-Natal novice team on another ride. Jack is a 10-year-old thoroughbred, but you wouldn't say it looking at how he's going around this track at the moment. Lighting the Fire has finished the track and had a crack over round. Currently going through the water is Sabbatical and Julia as they go out and over the log out of order, making their way on towards the rollers. Christelle van der Merwe and Hublot PS currently are 6th place with 35 penalties, have just gone over the log brush and making their way on towards the upright logs. Hublot PS is also affectionately known as Obley. They currently are a fantastic match, also competing in dressage. However, Obley has decided that cross-country is far more fun, and wouldn't you agree, as he has now turned into quite the eventer. And Christelle says that he might just be the best eventing horse she's ever owned. Sabbatical, after having gone clear over the last brush, has now gone through the finish. Leaving currently out on track is number 24, Lord Bedos, also known as Jack, as well as number 25, Hublot Pios or Obley. Lord Bedos, having gone over the Thatchen log, now go down and round towards the table at 16. Currently going out on track now is number 26, Georgia Rogers, riding Zeppelin's Cashmere, currently in 7th place, 1 penalty behind Christelle on 36 penalties. Lord Bedos, number 24, clear over the A-frame into waters. They pass closely to the GM Motors Audi and out over the log as they make their way down towards the rollers. Hublot PS and Christelle making their way on towards the brush and ditch after having cleared the upright. They've gone over the ditch and brush now and make their way uphill towards the corner, making that look so easy. I may have to agree with Christelle. He might actually be the best event horse she's ever owned. They make their way on towards the slanter now at 14. Number 26, Zeppelin's Cashmere, in the meantime, after having gone over the houses at 6, they now present to the slanter at 7. So Zeppelin's Cashmere originally was bred for eventing, and Georgia has actually been lucky enough to develop him as a competitive horse himself. So all the achievements this pair have gone together have been gained with Georgia's knowledge of bringing on her horses. A little bit of a fun fact about Zeppelin's Cashmere, also known as Cashy, is that he is purely food-driven, which means I'm sure she's given him as many treats as possible to convince him that today is the day that they go clear without a single hitch. They make their way on towards number 11 at the moment after having cleared number 10. Just as number 27 goes out onto track, this is Nicole riding J. Edgar. They come out onto track with a total of 42.3 penalties after the dressage. Having gone over the log brush, they now head uphill towards the log uprights. As in the distance, number 26, Zeppelin's Cashmere, lovely ride over the corner, now making their way on towards the slanter at 14. As Hublot PS really opening up the gas there as they head uphill towards the last brush at 21. Lovely jump over the last brush, a little bit close, but clear nonetheless. They make their way on towards the finish. Number 27, J. Edgar. Clear over the house, now presenting to the slanter at 7. They have no problems over there and head on towards the log combination at 8A and B. Number 28, Warrior. Pardon me, a correction. Zeppelin's Kashmir now clear through the Northern Farms water, making their way on towards the rollers at 19. The other horse out on track is number 28, Tokozani and Iwaria from Swaziland, currently in 12th place with 39.4 penalties after the dressage. They currently make their way on towards jumper number 10, the Yulong, which they clear, and now head downhill towards the upright at 11 before taking that right-hand turn on towards the ditch and brush. Number 29, Liam Emmett and Big Parade clear over number 4, the upright logs, as they make their way on towards number 5. The Big Log and Tyres. And once again, this is our current 3rd place, not far behind 2nd, with a total of 32.5 penalties after the dressage. They'll be looking to have a clear round for jumping and for time in order to make sure they're within striking distance of a win this weekend. As they present to the houses, lovely jump over there for Big Parade and Liam as they make their way on towards the slanter. Now presenting to the Thatchen log and clear over there was number 28, Iwaria. They've had no problems out on track thus far and are now presenting to number 16, the Table. Lovely jump over the table there for Togs and Iwaria. As 30 goes out onto track, this is Daniela Smith and First. They come from the Western Cape, currently in 8th place with a total of 36.2 penalties after the dressage. As Iwaria and Togs through the Northern Arms water as they make their way on towards the log out. A little bit of an interesting note about Togs is he is in fact one of the first equestrian athletes in Africa to be awarded an Olympic scholarship with his coach Peter Emmett to train in Australia. He also has the help from Tim Payne as well as Heath Ryan and has trained in Germany as well. Togs is actually one of our Open Eventing Championship riders, as he was sponsored back in the day and rode his horse, the Ghost, around the track. They've now gone down the grades and he's hoping to bring Iwaria back up to the top. They've just proven that they have the stuff for it as they go over the last brush and through the finish. In the distance, Big Parade now presenting to the log thatch as they pop over there and head on towards the table. As 30, First and Daniela Smith, if I'm not mistaken, making their way over the B element of the log combination at 8A and B, and now continuing on towards number 9. Liam and Big Parade just passing through Billy Goat Scruff as they make their way on towards the A-frame into water. Please stop walking. You've got a horse that will come through. Thank you. They go over the A-frame into water, into the first, out and back in as they make their way onto the log out. Liam is in fact 22 years of age, and I can honestly say one of our avid eventers, really putting in a lot of his time and passion into this sport, as he's based at Ananda Country Base and not only rides but helps build tracks at the Ananda Country Base venue. This combination have actually moved quite quickly up through the grades, but Paddy has been up to the task as he was in third in his first 95 centimetre track earlier in the year. And they, like dogs, are hoping to be produced all the way to the top, and I can't really disagree with them as they go over the last and on towards the finish. Number 31, Holeshot Pink, in the meantime, have made quick work of the track. They went out onto track with a total of 33.7 penalties after the dressage, currently lying in fourth place. They've made their way over the log combination at 8A and B and now head on towards number 9. Rene actually has got 2 mares here today, this weekend competing. She currently is, if you could believe it, 52 years young and has been eventing from the age of 21. She had a short break from jumping for 8 years due to a very bad fall previously, but couldn't stay away for long and is back eventing with us today. Number 30, Daniela Smith and first. Lovely jump over the A-frame and very classy through the water as they pop out and over the log, heading on towards the rollers. Number 32 in the meantime, Olivia Temple and Costsaver, also hailing from Swaziland, coming out onto track with a total of 52.5 penalties after the dressage. Over the upright logs, making their way on towards the tyres at 5. Lovely jump over there. And on towards the houses at 6. Olivia and Costsaver are actually not a new combination. They've been together for quite a while. Olivia and Costsaver have actually evented once in the 2 stars and have won a 90 centimetre championships before in 2016. And they were chosen to represent not only their homeland of Swaziland, but also Gauteng for South Africa. Costsaver is a thoroughbred and has competed for Gauteng with another rider. We affectionately call him Cash, because as Linda Payne says, you keep calling him Cash they should call him Cash Converters instead of Costsaver. He was originally imported from Australia, but did not enjoy racing, which he was previously bred for, and despite being incredibly spooky out on outrides, is very good out in the country. So you can see they haven't blinked once at a single jump out on track and are currently making their way on towards the upright at 11. Just as number 31, Holeshot Pink. Lovely jump over the log out of the Northern Farms water and making their way downhill towards the rollers. The 32, Costsaver clear over the slanter. At 14 as they now present to the log thatch. Lovely jump over and down they go towards the table at 16. Currently waiting to go under starters orders will be number 33, Kate Gill and Say Grace. Number 27, J. Edgar, currently clear over the upright at number 11 and now turning to the ditch and brush at 12 as Costsaver clear over the A-frame into the water, through the water and out over the log as they now go round and down towards the rollers. Olivia just making sure that Cash knows so far. Great job. J. Edgar in the meantime clear over the corner and heading uphill towards number 14, the slanter. Lovely jump over the slanter on a lovely forward stride as they head downhill towards the log thatch. it seems as if Say Grace has decided that they don't like the look of the log at jump number 5 as they turn to represent after having a lengthy discussion that it's just a log. And clearly that discussion has worked as they've popped over number 5 now, making their way on towards number 6 the houses. Is number 27, J. Edgar. Lovely, very fast through the water and on towards the rollers as they pop over there. A little bit of a cat leap of a pop, but clear nonetheless as they now go round to the second to last. Number 34, Karen Cousins and Misty Tiger are currently out on track. They have come out onto track with a total of 48.1 penalties after the dressage. Hey, Grace seems to be taking the slow and steady wins the race as they head on towards the U jump at number 10. Just as number 35 comes out onto track, this is Lake of Light and Shane Rourke, currently lying in 11th with a total of 39 penalties on the nose. They've just popped over number 2 and now present to the log brush at number 3. No issues as they continue on towards the upright logs at 4. Say Grace now clear over number 14, the slanters. They turn left-handed and downhill to go towards the log thatch at 15. Breaking to a trot, they pop over there and very slowly but surely move on towards the table at 16. Number 35, Lake of Light in the meantime. Clear over the houses at 6, making their way on towards the slanter at 7. As number 34, Misty Tiger. Lovely ride over the corner and heading uphill to the slanter at 14. As number 36 goes out onto track, this is Kelly Versadenhout riding Sonnet Lemire. They go out onto track with a total of 40 penalties, not far behind 11th place if I'm not mistaken, with only 1 penalty separating them. So anything can happen out in the country, which is why our riders try and go clear. You'd rather get a few time penalties than get the 20 penalties for a stop. Say Grace in the meantime has just gone over the rollers, but not far behind them. Karen Cousins and Misty Tigers. They've just gone over number 16 at the table, now present to the A-frame at the Northern Farms Water Complex. So they present. Lovely jump in. So they go through the first bit of water, out onto the centre bank, into the water again, and out over the log just as Say Grace goes over the last brush and through the finish. Lake of Light in the meantime, clear over number 13 the corner and heading on towards number 14 the slanter. A slight ways behind them, Sonnet Lemire. Clear over number 8 A and B, the log combination as they make their way onto jump number 9 just as Misty Tiger makes their way on towards the last jump. Number 37, Charles Peternell and Pedro Secret make their way onto track. They come out onto track with a total of 36.5 penalties after the dressage. Clear over the fan at number 2 and now presenting to the log brush at 3 as they pop over there and head uphill towards the log uprights at 4. Lake of Light in the meantime, no problems at the table through Billy Goat Scruff and now making their way to the A-frame before the water at 17. Very cool, calm and controlled as they pop over there into the water jump, out onto the centre island, into the water again, and lovely jump up over the log out as they head downhill towards the rollers at 19. Number 35, Lake of Light, clear over number 20, now presenting to 21, the last brush. Popping over there and on towards the finish. Pedro's Secret in the meantime. Should be coming out towards jump number 9 after the log combination. Just as I say that, out they come and over they go. So they head on towards jump number 10. Kelly Bezaidenhout and Sonnet Lemire clear over the A-frame into the water, out onto the centre island, into the water again and out over the log as they turn to go over the rollers at 19. Pedro's Secret, number 37, now presenting to 11. The upright is not too far behind them. Number 38, Mandy Jarman riding Fort Bay, our current first place with a total of 30 penalties on the nose after the dressage. Just made their way over the slanter at number 7. There is no mistaking it, as they are the favourites this morning, making their way on towards number 8A and B, the log combination. Number 39 is now out on track. This is Shelley Maguire and Terra Nova. This combination goes out onto track with a total of 34.8 penalties after the dressage and are currently lying in 5th place. Pedro's Secret in the meantime clear over the log. Thatch at 15, making their way down towards the table at 16 is Fort Bay, our current leader. Over the upright and presenting to the brush and ditch. Almost a lovely jump, but rider got slightly left behind. They are still continuing on and clear over the corner at 13. They do seem to be a little bit standoffish at the jumps, but this young off-the-track thoroughbred seems to be up to the task to make sure they go around clear. Pedro's Secret now clear over the A-frame into the Northern Farms water. They bypass the first water and go into the second as they pop out over the log and head down towards the rollers. Terra Nova in the meantime clear over number 8A and B, the log combination heading on towards number 9 is Fort Bay, clear over the table, making their way down towards the Northern Farms water complex to the A-frame into water. Fort Bay had originally competed in a one-star event, however they felt that they had a little more schooling to do and went back down to the 95s in order to iron out the kinks and make sure it would be smooth sailing when they moved up once again. They are presenting to the rollers and popping over them as they now turn to go towards the second to last jump as Terra Nova clear over the U-jump and the upright at 10 and 11, now turning to go to the ditch and brush at 12. Number 40, Alexiniaki and AMC Cassandro 2, going out on track with a total of 44.4 penalties. They seem to have had a problem at jump number 5, but cleared on a second attempt, if I'm not mistaken. They've now done a lovely jump over the houses at 6 and head on towards the slanter at 7. Fort Bay, our current leader, did go through the finish, and now we have our first junior out onto track. This is number 41, Timothy riding Aerobatic. They go out onto track with a total of 35.8 penalties after the dressage and are currently lying in 3rd place. They've gone over the fan at number 2 and the log brush at 3 as they head up towards the uprights, logs at 4. Number 39, Terra Nova and Shelley Maguire coming in towards the Northern Farms water and the A-frame into water. They pop over the A-frame into the water and out over the log, out of water as they head downhill towards the rollers at 19. Aerobatic in the meantime, clear over number 5, heading on to present to number 6, the houses, as they present and clear. No issues for them at all as they head on towards number 7, the slanter. Number 40, AMC Cassandro 2 and Alexi Niaki, clear over their very own slanter at number 14, and now heading downhill towards the log thatch at 15. They present, and a lovely forward jump over there as they now head downhill and left-handed towards the table, just as Shelley Maguire and Terra Nova go through the finish. Number 42, Devondale Coco and Robin, currently our second place for our juniors with a total of 34.4 penalties. Clear over jump number 4, the upright logs, and making their way onto 5, just as Alexi Niaki and AMC Cassandra 2 clear over the A-frame into water, straight into the water, out onto the middle bank, into the water again, and taking a standoff to just show us that he's still got plenty in the tank as he pops over the log and heads on towards the rollers at 19. Devondale Coco clear over the houses at number 6 and the slanter at 7, making their way on towards the one and only combination on track, the logs, as number 41, Aerobatic, clear over the corner, and the slanter, 13 and 14, making their way downhill towards number 15, the log thatch. Just as number 40, AMC Cassandra 2, clear over the last brush and through the finish. As number 43, Callahoo Al Pacino goes out onto track. This is Ella Hunt's second ride of the day. They go out onto track with a total of 37.5 penalties after the dressage. Clear over the fan at number 2, making their way on towards the log brush at 3. So they pop over there and now head uphill towards the upright logs. Number 42, Devondale Coco, clear over the upright at 11, now turning to go to the ditch and brush at 12, as number 41, Aerobatic, clear over the A-frame into the Northern Farms water and out over the log out as they head downhill towards number 19, the rollers. Devondale Coco now presenting to the corner, just deciding to drop a gear and add a little bit of speed to that one. They've cleared nonetheless and now make their way on towards the slanter at 14. Number 43, Callahoo Al Pacino, clear over the houses. And the slanter at 6 and 7 making their way on towards the log combination, just as number 41, Aerobatic and Timothy, lovely clear over the last brush and on towards the finish. Devondale Coco, in the meantime, has had no issues on track thus far, if I'm not mistaken. They now present to the table as 16. Lovely pop of a jump over there as they now cross over through Billy Goat Scruff towards the water complex. Number 44 now goes out onto track. This is Hannah Allen riding Brainiac Honky Tonk Girl, currently in first place for the Junior 95s with a total of 34.2 penalties. All of our competitors in this class are all in the 30 penalties and all within 5 penalties of each other. So at this point, it is anyone's show to win. They just need to make sure they go clear around the country and have a clear